sometimes while actually reducing his own. And he has built-in turn cycling that just keeps him taking turn after turn after turn. Seriously, I don't think he deserves to be number 11. Seriously, I feel like he even has validity at maybe like number 1. No, that's a little extreme, actually. I think the number 1's actually pretty good. Maybe number 2. I could see him being number 2, but I don't want to talk about him that late in the video. I just want to get out of the way. So is this list scuffed from the start? I don't know. I think it's a pretty good list if I'm being totally honest, but hey, you know what? To each their own. Number 10 and number 9 we're going to talk about together because they are more often than not seen together. It's Miles and Raccoon, who have appeared on the channel before in the coolest combos of a year in the past. I forget which one though. Where are we? When are we? 2023? They're back and just as good as ever. According to recent stats though, Miles has not actually broken the top 10 most picked monsters in RTA this season, which is surprising to me, but at the same time, I've been seeing him a lot in 2 vs 2 RTA as part of the Guardians Club tournament that's happening right now. It's the first time we've ever had 2 vs 2 in a competitive setting, and it's very fun to watch. Though, admittedly, part of the reason why we're seeing so much Miles is because Leo is outlawed in 2 vs 2. And Leo is Miles's natural predator out in the wild. So I suppose if you didn't want Miles and Raccoon to be at number 10 and number 9, we could instead say it's Hagang and Irene. Hagang is boring, but Irene is really cool. Irene has shot up in popularity recently for a number of reasons. One, she can exile someone and say, you're not in the game anymore. It's basically the same thing that Jogun did, but people like it better because it's not on Jogun. I'm just kidding. They like it because it also strips buffs off of them, so you can do it through immunity. She also has a super interesting skill too, with a buff that only appears on 2 monsters in the game, and they're both within the same family. The Water and Dark Devil Maidens apply a unique buff that reflects harmful effects. Now you pair that with a threat state, and it's just magic. Number 8, Teshar, the Wind Phoenix. Even though she doesn't see play in RTA, Teshar has earned a spot on the list for what she's done in PvE settings. More specifically, she was number 1 in the most picked out of the top 10 units in the Choose an App 5 event. And I feel like that should count for something. We should have a little bit of PvE representation on this list, right? We all know what Teshar does. If you find yourself in a position where you don't know what Teshar does, you should check out the Speed Team Guide to Giants that we posted on the channel. Number 7 and number 6, Velasca and Velasca Blue Edition. Lamila? Llama? Lamami? I feel like her name is Lamila. These were a couple incredible new cleave options that emerged at the end of 2024. But when I say the end, I mean it. It was like right on the cusp of 2024 to 2025, so people didn't really get a chance to experiment with them until early on in 2025. They both use an extremely interesting mechanic. Every time a monster takes damage, sacrifice stacks are added in the background. And if a monster dies, the sacrifice pool is boosted all the way up to the top, which means they're going to do maximum damage on their turn. But what's great about them is they also only really want HP. All their damage is based on max HP and how much sacrifice is in the pool. So they're kind of like Miles. That's a bit of a stretch, but in the sense that you build them tanky and then you just get damage as a byproduct. It's like, cool, thanks. Number 5, it's the Fire Mega... It's Tetsuo. Oh, that's not right either anymore. That's the Fire Exorcist Association Conjurer, baby. I rant positively about this monster all the time. Is there a word for that? Ramble, I suppose? Ramble, right? What's cool about the Fire Exorcist Association Conjurer is that he has a passive that we've seen in other places before, namely Diana the Wind Unicorn. The only thing is that Diana carries high threat because she's a damage dealer / bruiser. The Fire Exorcist Association Conjurer is a support unit, so you don't really want to hit him, whereas you want to take out Diana as fast as humanly possible. So I feel like a passive that gets you attack bar when you're not attacked is more useful on a unit like him, because now your opponent is having to make the active choice to drift away from the active threat and target your support unit early. Cool passive, cool kit that also steals buffs. He can stun, he can apply defense break and attack break on skill 1, and he has a 28% arena speed lead. The dude's killing it. He has everything. Now imagine my surprise when I see that he's in the top 10 of recently picked monsters. However, his win rate was actually sub 50%. Not that sub, but still sub. Number 4, Shiho, the Water Monkey King. He gets higher on the list because of the memes that came out of the buff he got. He caused a lot of conversation, especially on the subreddit, and he had quite the showing at week 4 of the Guardians Club tournament. Someone up there is trying to make Shiho the best monster in the game, and it's only going to take a couple more buffs to get there, I think. Number 3, Lydia. Just kidding. Well, actually, am I kidding? Bro, this is for me. I'm so hyped she even got a little buff after all this time. Like 10% more reflected damage didn't seem like that much. You actually really feel it because reflected damage is not taken damage. So, you know, I'm just playing. She's my number 3, but the number 3 for the video is actually the Water Exorcist Association Resolver, or as people have taken calling him, the Water Ear. Exorcist Association Resolver, EAR. Or they could also call him Were, WEAR. Like a werewolf. He has been seeing so much play. There was only one set in the Americas Summit this year where he wasn't picked. He was at least picked or appeared in the pre-bans in the Americas Summit the whole way through. And that's impressive enough to get you on the list. But his kit is even more so. His skill 2 scales on defense, which is great because he buffs his own defense. That's also a stat that doesn't change. It ages well over the course of an RTA match. You know, attack goes up and HP goes down, but defense stays the same. So he hits pretty hard over the course of the game. Plus, he's immune to attack bar reduction. So he's a great choice into Oliver. He can still get reset though. He can still get reset, but he's gonna get that turn. Number 2 is Aya. Her name's not Aya anymore. I don't know her current name. Here's her current name. Wow, look at that. It's probably long. Aya's buff caused such a stir in the community. That is why she's at number 2, because this is not a list of like the best in order. Well, it kind of is the best actually. In a weird way, it is kind of about the best, but it's mostly about the impact that they've had. Hence, Teshar and Lydia. The memes that came out of Aya's buff were frankly hilarious, and now she's suddenly up there with some of the best counters to debuff comps in Summoner's War. In the beginning, we were kind of throwing around willy-nilly, like if there were any debuffs in play, not even AoE, you just put her on your team and hope she procs. But I think we've all kind of collectively grown out of that phase, and now we're bringing her in more appropriate situations. The change in question is that she now decreases all enemies' HP by 25% if she starts her turn with a debuff on. That's the only condition, and it's just as good as it sounds. Is applied with debuffs, though, she gets... Oh my god, I procced. Dude, it looks like Molong went through here. Look at this. That's crazy. I'm literally going to talk about this in a video. Michael, if you're watching this in the future, let's use this game for the video. But I have a tendency to love monsters that just sit there and accrue value. So she's very me-coded. Honorable mentions, we'll keep this real quick. First of all, it's Mi Ying, the Dark Panda Warrior. Mi Ying is here because I feel like he finally found an identity for himself, you know? Now he's not just the attack version of Feng Yan, he's also anti-crowd control, and I couldn't be happier for him. Well, maybe I could be a little bit happier if I had one, but you know what? We'll leave it at that. The other honorable mention is Gianna, the Dark Oracle. I think Gianna actually has the highest win rate of any monster that I've talked about today, and I think that's enough to justify her inclusion on this list. We all love to hate Gianna, especially when she's paired with her sister Ciara, so good for her. She had a buff and a little nerf, and now she's still great. Number 1, the twins. No, wait, not those twins. These twins. These guys have been tearing it up in RTA recently. Like, I don't even know what to say. Earlier this year, when we had the Content Creator Invitational on the channel, Chewy's brought a team that was entirely composed of like Twin Angels plus Frigate. And it really made an impact on me. And now all of the Twin Angels, except for the Dark One. The Dark Ones aren't really seeing play, but the rest of them are seeing so much play. They actually have the highest play rate of any monster right now at the time of recording. And that's pretty incredible. Though when I say that stat, I'm mostly talking about the Water ones. And I think they'll probably be like the poster child for the number 1 slot. The Water Twin Angels offer so much utility across 6 skills. They've got single target strip and defense break. They can AoE stun, they can reduce someone's cooldown time. Like, can you believe that's all on one unit? That is a utility belt monster. And those are the type of monsters that dominate in RTA. They also do great with additional... Hello everyone and welcome back to Summoner's War. My name is Come207 and today we're doing live account reviews and progression tips. After a long hiatus, we're going to be back in chat channel 11, so if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, gripes about your account, your progression, throw it in chat channel 11 and I will do my dangest to help you. I'll jump on your island, we'll look at your monsters, do everything in my power to do it. Kanagi, welcome back. Kanagi says Teshar is a she, confirmed by Evan. You know, that dates back to a really old Excel document, actually, that Seppi and I found. And it confirmed a lot of things about a lot of monsters, and all the phoenixes are female according to that document. Kanagi also said, Evan, throw it in Lydia. Yeah, bro. Anytime I can throw in Lydia in a video, unironically or otherwise, I'll do it. And so yeah, she was in there. Welcome back, Ultra Deathlord. Mad Havoc, good to see you. Lay over on YouTube, which again, guys, we're live on both Twitch and YouTube today. We got Chasoon. What's up, Chasoon? Dr. Perp, JG Blitz, Digital Tiger, Field Medic. Guys, this is going to be fun. I've really missed this a lot. So while you're going into chat channel 11 on the global server to start here, I want to remind you guys that we'll be talking about questions about what you guys are going through in Summoner's War right now. If you feel stuck in a certain content, let me know and I'll try to help you out. But I also wanted to open it up to special league replays or anything like that that you want to share, because I'd be real interested in seeing what you guys are playing for that. I have yet to invest any time in Special League. It's 4-star right now. It's 4-star Special League only, but we'll see what's up. I also saw someone say that they were feeling hard stuck right before C1, so maybe we could do something like that. What's up, Bananas? Havoc says, I'll have you review my account off stream so no one can see how terrible I am and see me crying in chat. Bro, trust me, we got you. That's not what this is about. We're not trying to make fun of anybody. This isn't like an account roast with Evan. I'm so notoriously bad at roasting accounts. This is purely from the position of help. We got you. Mr. J, I need help with my account. I can't lie. Dude, let's throw it in chat. Chat channel 11. Also, Banans gets bonus points, by the way. Banans gets serious bonus points for the what's the word I'm looking for? The symmetry in this profile. Very well done. And Banans, what's your question for me? I would love to hear what's going on with your account, if you have anything you want me to take a look at. Would love it if you could look at my account and give advice. Level 66. Righteous. Amazing, dude. Righteous, hop in chat channel 11. It's 11 because it's Summoner's War's 11th birthday, right? You know, it's the 11th anniversary, and it goes up every year. So we've been doing this for a while. Yeah, but only 13 more to go. I need help with dragons. Sick. Awesome. Well, I don't know how much you want to make it faster. Is that what you're thinking? Dude, you're killing it out there. P1 in Arena. You already have a giant speed team, so we can try to speed this up a little bit. Man, this is, guys, I just like got comfortable in the chair. You know, I just kind of kicked my feet up a little bit. We're back, baby. Account reviews and progression tips. I'm hyped for this. Let's see what we can do. 116 is admirable, right? So with the advent of repeat battle, especially times 30 repeat battle, I just want to get this out of the way in the beginning. It is way more important to have consistent runs than anything else. Like if you want a speed team, that's great, but it's more important that you clear. So that means 1 minute, just shy of under a minute, that's totally fine for the case of this, as long as it is consistent. So since I'm going into your island, right, and not on the account itself, I will need to have the units out in order to review. So what I'll do in the meantime, though, is I can kind of also do GZ on Shun, GZ on the Dark Zenny. You have some really good monsters, man. This is a dope account. Oh, I really want this monster. Really want that guy. The Fire Exorcist Association Conjurer, as it were. The first things that I would point you towards, Banans, and I can leave and come back once they're out. But I would say, let's double check Verd, making sure that he's a damage Verd. You could also kind of speed things up by potentially investigating a speed team, you guys. So I'm doing the Kyle speed team with Dulcim, right? So this is his functional equivalent from the SF collaboration. So you could do something like this. It's a fun project to work on. I really enjoyed working on this one, actually. I should say I really enjoyed concluding it, because actually working on it was one of the most frustrating teams I've ever built in Summoner's War. I don't know why I said that. I feel like I actually like blocked out how hard it was to build that team. But it was very fun once it worked. I'll tell you that. What speeds are my teams? Let's look. Let's take a look. So I've got a 29-second best. It's not a 29-second time. We all know how this goes. 29 seconds for that, and I've got a 37-second Dragon's time. 30 and 39 for Necro. Although this is a little outdated. I don't know if I use that same team for Necro anymore. But those are my times. So, you know, that's kind of what you can come to reasonably expect. Prince says, how do we do this? let me know what you need help with. I'll do my best. Let me catch up with chat real quick because I just realized I haven't looked at chat in a second. My turn after a long time since then. Field Medic. Oh, when you guys put your questions in chat, by the way, let me know what your Twitch or YouTube handle is too, so I can try to help you out. When does account deprogression tip stream? Aggie Baby, yeah, that's gonna be the follow-up to this where I deliberately sabotage everybody's account. That's April Fool's Day. It's April Fool, oh my God, wait a minute, we might have just tapped into something here. On April Fool's Day, I do live account progression tips, but I give opposite advice. I tell you the exact opposite thing that you're supposed to do. I just tell you to burn all your crystals on crystal summons. That's what we do. Blitzing Star, it is global server. Make sure chat knows it's chat channel 11 all. Chat channel 11 all. Thank you. Sorry. Chat channel 11 all. This is the last time we did account reviews and progression tips. I don't even think that was a thing back then. JG, let's go. So most recent Nat 5 was Win Nobara, obviously an SW version. Right, totally. What is paired best with plus against? Fascinating. Oh my God, JG Blitz. So, dude, she appeared, the artist formerly known as Aya, appeared in the most recent video on the most impactful units of 2025, right? So I forget her name. So she's the Exorcist Association Hunter. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows what she does at this point, but whenever she gets a debuff, she gets attack bar. And as long as she's got a debuff on, she'll hit every enemy for 25% of their health at the start of their turn. So she is a counter pick, right? At her heart, she's a counter pick. So if you see that there's debuffs, especially in AoE fashion, you can rip one of these, just throw it into your team and just watch it work. Best way to ruin it is Violent Nem. Violent Nemesis to me is probably like the best way to do it because if they're focusing her, you want her to get attack bar so that she jumps ahead, gets a turn before they're expecting it. You don't want Will on it because you actually do want this thing to get debuffs on, and she cycles her own attack bar. Now, as far as pairings, I just want to go, while there's not one thing, Blitzing Star and Violent Nem, Pog, love using Nemesis. I saw that. Blitzing Star just got hit hard by the auto mod, which is hilarious. But I want you to know that I saw your message and I appreciated your message, okay? Jin Wiccan, what's going on? Says, evening everyone, how are we all doing? I'm doing great. So, everybody in Twitch chat, say congratulations to JG Blitz for pulling one of these, the formerly known as Aya. The thing that I wanted to say, you don't need to get too afraid of pairing her with auto cleanse. I've won many a game by also pairing her with a Rakuni, if I'm being totally honest. It's not, there's a little bit of anti-synergy there, right? Because you want her to have debuffs on, and you have things like a Veramos or like a Rakuni or something like that auto cleanses. Don't be too afraid of that. Like, you'll still weave in the turns because she gains attack bar. Because she's able to boost herself, she'll often cut ahead of those auto cleansers just so that way she can like still do the damage. So I just wanted to throw that out there because she's very much at home with your standard like counter comp to debuff teams. Although because of the way she works, if there's just incidental debuffs, bro, you're gonna like nuke the enemy team. It's great. Okay, so let's go back in here. Winterfall, that's Havoc. Let me just quickly dip back into Banan's account because Banan's didn't have the stuff out for dragons, and so we'll just briefly talk about that. Oh, you have a Kyle. You're kind of working on this. That's fantastic. Okay, so it seems like you're already kind of thinking about building the Kyle team. So at risk of spending too long talking about this, I'm just going to say we have a video on that on the YouTube channel that goes into way more detail than I have time to kind of go into right now. So just that, I think you're in a great space for that right now. I can tell you're thinking about it, and that's fantastic. I really like his crit damage. I'm okay with his crit rate. He needs at least 2% more. Technically speaking, I just want to say this about that, right? Because I want everybody to hear this one tip. So in the Teshar team, right, for Giants, you can actually get away with having extremely low crit rate because like you get the elemental attribute bonus as well as the crit rate lead. In dragons, you don't really have that luxury. And I know we've done this before, but the pop quiz here is how many fire units are in dragons. I'll let you think on it for not that long. The answer is only 2. There's only 2 fire units in all of dragons. Everything else is neutral, otherwise known as, I think, common element, I think is the name. So that means you don't get that inherent 15% attribute bonus when you're attacking those monsters. So I would say to get Kyle as close to 100 as possible. You know, practicing what I preach here does not need to be exactly 100. I don't have exactly 100 on my Kyle, but I wish it was. I do wish it was. So just bear that in mind. Let someone else take my place, lol. Sorry. I was thinking of pairing her with Juno so Juno can heal with no cleanse. Boom. Blitzing Star is on the next level with that recommendation. Juno is a perfect pairing with Aya if you have one because she can heal without actually cleansing Aya. Really good tip. Wait, Blitzing Star, oh wait, Blitzing Star is JG Blitz? Oh my god, you're kidding me. That's perfect, dude. Jasoon, I entered channel 11 all and can't see the chat. Oh yeah, maybe it'll be after that. I spent 90 dimension energy in 2 hours to 2A a Garrosh for vigor food. And after I fed the Garrosh, I realized I didn't awaken it first. Oh, bro. That's a 2-sentence horror story. That's what that is, Digital Tiger. That's a Summoner's War 2-sentence horror story right there. Okay. I ultimately wanted to look at things like the Verd. So here's a change you can make right now if this is the Verd that you're running in the meantime, before you make the transition to a Kyle team. You can just throw this guy on Rage. I think you're potentially ready. Yeah, you could throw this guy on Rage and it'll just kind of sing. Okay, let's bounce out of here. I'm realizing I'm spending a lot of time talking about one thing. I gotta move. I gotta move. So Havoc doesn't want to be looked at. Looking for help with PVM teams. PVM? Is that like PVE? Did the E fall over? It's like the E just kind of tipped over into an M. I don't really do any RTA. Name is Digital Tiger. Oh, this is Digital Tiger. Oh no, this is the guy who just told the horror story. And your profile picture is Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. No way, I love that comic. You're kidding me. Maybe PVM is like player versus monster. This is so funny. So I love Calvin and Hobbes. It's so totally anecdotal. That's one of my favorite presents of all time. My mom got me the complete collection of that comic. Got me Calvin and Hobbes complete, and we used to read it before bed when I was a kid. It's such a treasured memory. So that's very cool. That nice freedom, that freedom baby, get ready for the fun. Typhoon. That's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Oh yeah, PVM is PVE. Okay, I read between the lines. That's great. Why am I facing apps in Special League? Carnegie. Oh, rip Carnegie. Sorry, dude. So PVE teams. It is one, oh dude, it is definitely the best comic. I love it. I love that gift. That was so cool. And what a special memory, right? To have that with my mom. That's so cool. Now that's an account I want because Pontos is one of my most wanted Blitz. I don't blame you, but that is a cool monster. Okay, so let's talk teams here for a second. So dragons, right? So this is kind of like a deconstruction of like the Kyle team right now, which is really funny because you actually have the harder part of the puzzle to get, which is Liam. So Liam, the water weapon master, is like the final form of that team that I just talked about. The only thing, I don't have Liam. I'm really good at getting Liam for other people though. Like I summoned Liam for Seppi on the car when we were carpooling one day to work. And back then, that team had yet to be kind of like ideated. And so I don't think he didn't use him for a long time. And so, but now, dude, this is great because now what you can do is you can use Liam's superior lead. You can bring Kyle, as well as some of the other pieces. So you can still bring Konamiya. I think, do you still use Shaman in that team? I'm not sure. Carnegie, you're so funny. Contrary to popular belief, I lost abs. Aggie baby, when is trading coming to Summoner's War? I don't think trading is ever, I do not want trading in Summoner's War. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Speaking as a player, I don't want that. Not that I'm like the deciding factor. It's just that trading, like the Summoners War like game and infrastructure is not set up for like trading. We've had this conversation a couple times on stream, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. Like, getting to have discussions like this on stream is one of my favorite things to do. But I firmly believe that I think trading would kind of like destroy a lot of what's special about the game. Matthew, I don't want to farm Spiritual Realm for fight runes, but I really want that speed team. Matthew, that's so crazy because you just foreshadowed a video that's coming out this weekend. It's the best rune sets in Summoners War and how to get them, and one of them is fight runes. You don't have to strictly do it. You can do Sacrion, but Sacrion is even harder than Spiritual Realm. Yeah, it's way worse. Trading would be depressingly boring. I want a thrill of pulling it. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Completely agree with you, Evan. Thank you. I really want to trade my water slime for a wind slime. Aggie, baby. Now that's pretty reasonable, to be honest. That would destroy the game. So you have a Liam. So you could potentially make the Liam speed team featuring Kyle. Your Necro team is looking good. The only thing is I'm suspicious on how like consistent this is. So when I see twins, I normally think that it's not gonna necessarily clear a ×30 run on repeat battle. The reason for that is probably due to like the golems on the way up. These monsters will end up doing quite a bit of damage to themselves on the way to the boss. And that's not something you really want to do. So how about this real quick, before I jump on your account, I just want to share what I use, right? So this is my team currently. You can also use an Aster instead of this if you're so inclined, or you could actually technically replace the Ikaru. I just still have one from the Trickerer team. So this is great, right? This will clear and very quickly. My team is closer to like a 40-ish second clear time. So changing this might be able to help. Let me just show the runes real quick. I've got mine on Violent. She's runed for damage. 0% accuracy. Don't start with me, chat. Don't start with this. There's no accuracy here either. She's literally on 0. This is skill 3 accuracy. This is skill 2. She's literally on 0 accuracy. Doesn't matter. We have a short about it on the YouTube channel. Field Medic says, Necro sucks, man. The Lich steals my monsters. Yo, the 0% accuracy, the return, bro. I know. It's been so long. Don't start with me, chat. 0 is plenty. She doesn't need it. She doesn't miss. Where's the extra mileage? Video quote. So I would recommend doing this. If you rune a Shaman, by the way, that's one of the best investments you can make. You'll use him everywhere. I recommend Shaman I use him in Giants, Dragons, and Necro. She hit all. Yeah, she did. Evan OP, 0 accuracy, dude. And she never misses. I don't know what's up with that, but she never misses. Wild Mav, I'm at a little plateau. Oh my God, guys, wait, hold on. Quick story. Do you guys play Splitgate 2? Have you guys played that game? I was playing it the other day, and I got headshotted by somebody, and they had Mav as their profile picture. And I was like, oh my God, this is a Summoners War player. I just got headshotted in Splitgate 2 by a Summoners War player. I was crazy. I was like, no, I didn't, because so I was playing crossplay. I was on PS5 and I was playing with friends on PC, and so that was their Steam. That was like their Steam profile picture. But it like blew my mind. I was like, this is hitting too close to home. So anyway, all of that from Mav. Yeah, what's your come to his ID? I'm gonna ban. He dunks on me in a different game, so I ban him in Summoners War. Isn't that dope? I know, I was very surprised, Matthew. I was very surprised. Okay, so back to Wild Mav's question, that inspired that whole thing. I'm at a plateau as to what needs to be done. I'm a little all over the place, trying to make a solo R5 and everything else. My in-game name is Waterboard Mav. Wow, why? Why is that your name? All right, you got it. I'll do my best, bro. Oh, you guys are killing me today. Oh, that's so funny. April 1st is Evan Rose progression stream. And we got Righteous here as well, so let's help with Righteous. I'm sorry, I forget who Righteous was in chat. I'll look around. What's going to happen, this guy? Headshot Evan, exactly, Righteous. Oh, that's Righteous. Righteous is Righteous, that makes sense. So level 66, starting out here, right? Looks like you've been in the game for 650 days, thereabouts. You've made a Giants Abyss hard team. We could improve the Giants. Actually, we could make a couple changes that I think will go pretty far for this. So yeah, this is good. Any chance I could get some help as well? Kind of lost on and would like some help with what to build. Yeah, Max, I will try my dude. That's what this is all about. If I can help you, I'd love to. We're hanging out in the all chat on chat channel 11. Because Summoners War is 11 years old. So let's see if we can help. For this one, I'm gonna recommend a couple things. So if you feel like you're still pretty new, which it's looking like it is, level 66, right? I would recommend maybe taking out the Windsylph and potentially even Sigmaris, actually, which I know, kind of crazy, but I like to go a little bit safer with this. And I'm not in love with it. Damn, wow, these are good. That's actually good stats. I was not expecting that good of stats, if I'm being honest. That like made me bite my tongue when I was saying that, but those are actually decent stats. I find that the scaling for Sigmaris is a little bit weird. I don't think that's much of a hot take. I think people generally like Veramos a little bit better, right? And since you have one, you may want to just go with like potentially a Rage build for this. What do we got on this? This is your Rage rune. You could potentially swap this over. It's just a little low on HP and speed. You could do attack, crit damage attack. So what we could do instead is we could just do like a Rage set, hopefully. Could do Rage on these 4 runes, even. Like you could keep these two. You can keep these two, I think, since it's on Broken anyway. Personal vendetta, because back when T1G was around in Siege, I had a Mav single-handedly better than John beat my team. No way. A Mav single-handedly beat the team? That's so funny. I could see why you'd want to waterboard Mav after that. The alt channel for me is different than what you have on screen, Evan. Also, so Field Medic, what server are you on, by the way? Because I can jump over to different servers as well if necessary. I realize I'm playing on Europe server. Yeah, no, Medi, not a problem. I have a Europe account, so if there's enough interest, I can jump over to my Europe account and we can do this after. Like, it's not a problem. Not a problem. Boy, yo, Evan, returning player, welcome back. Just trying to get some help on the direction I need to take my account. Perfect. If you're on global, hop in chat channel 11 and just let me know, like, this is Boy. Need help on what to return with, or like, rather what to focus on. Okay, so let's focus in on Giants for a second. So I really like Veramos with the 33 HP lead. I'm cool with Crow. The only thing that I would suggest, if you're finding you're having a hard time clearing, using Shannon and Belladon instead of Lauren and the Windsylph. So what's great about this, you can rune both of these guys on Swift. You can put Shannon kind of on whatever if you want. The main thing is you just want them to be fast. So you kind of want them to be the first ones to move. Shannon can buff your team, which is kind of like healing. We've said this before. Defense buff is reducing the amount of damage they're taking. So it's kind of like healing. She can also slow, which is really nice. Keep them from reaching their next turn. And she can apply glancing to the boss. So she has a bunch of different ways to like debuff the enemy and buff your team. Belladon applies defense break, which is what we want, kind of like Lauren, but only on a single hitting skill. And that's better for making sure the counterattack meter doesn't tick up because it really hurts in Abyss. Oh, sorry, Blitzy. I know. I saw it though. I saw it though. So that's my first suggestion for Giants. Briefly touching on Dragons, because I know we've talked about it a lot already. So Verd, getting him up to 100%, I know it sounds crazy, but with how much he moves in Dragons, you will find the 2%, and it will cost you the run. So I would really suggest 100%. He doesn't need to be this fast, by the way. It's fine if he's on Swift, but he can, technically speaking, people like to have him be the slowest monster on their team. And I'll tell you the logic behind that. So the idea is with his passive, right, he can gain a maximum of 40% attack bar for his team. If everybody has already moved before him, right, their attack bars are basically empty. So they're gonna gain that full benefit from 40%. But if he's moving first and you got a couple people like behind him, like 40% isn't really gonna help that much, right? Like maybe they were sitting at 80% attack bar and they only needed 20 to get to 100. So exactly, it's the mileage for the whole 40. So while this is not technically wrong, right? It's not technically wrong, it's more efficient to have him move last on the team. And that comes with a whole bunch of other benefits, to be honest, because now all of a sudden, you don't have to like try to squeeze in all this speed. You can actually make that the crit rate you're looking for or the crit damage you need or something. So that's great. Yeah. Aggie baby, put it. Dude, that's the math. 40 is greater than numbers less than 40. You're so right. Okay, let me bounce from here. Righteous, the other thing that I forgot to mention while I was on your account. So swapping out the twins. I'm not a huge fan of the twins in Dragons all the time. I like Spectra, Second Awakened Spectra, or I also like Shaman, the Light Griffin, or Crow. Combination of those I think would do you great in there. Okay, let's go back up to the top real quick. And we talked about Prince, we helped Righteous. Jin, okay, evening Evan and everyone. So still a noob, wanted to ask for R5 team and arena defense to work on if possible. Perfect, okay. So let's just see if you have anything currently on your arena defense. I did want to remind everybody too, arena defense is not like, Evan, look in chat, why, what happened? What happened? Arena defense. Since last time you did an account review, Ultra Death Lord, you're hilarious. So sorry. What's your question? In-game chat. Oh, sorry. The in-game chat. What's the question? How do I ruin this? Salah? You got a Salah? What? Oh my God! Congrats. Congratulations. This is a fun LD5. It's definitely it's not top tier. It's not a top tier Nat 5, right? And I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. We take those. It's fun. Stoic has this, by the way. Stoic has Salah, and we've had a really fun time forcing it. The main thing is like violent. Like you want that opportunity to proc and get an activation of his passive a second time, right? So the strip and the stun. Do I personally ask Stoic? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100% ask Stoic. He would love to talk to you about Salah, I bet. But so violent. I would also do Will. Stoic. So yeah, I would do violent, and then I'd do Will as the offset. Does it say on your turn when you attack on your turn? Yeah, that's the thing, man. Little buff for this guy. Just remove the word on your turn. Just the phrase on your turn. Just take that off. Take that off, dude. Then you could do Vio Revenge. How sick would that be? I think we could handle it. Okay, let me look on YouTube real quick after this. Any advice for R5 Wind Beast? I still do R5 neutral, for the most part, if I'm being totally honest. I just do neutral R5. But is Kaito the best samurai? In a lot of situations, he is. A lot of situations, yeah. The samurais don't see a ton of play, but where, you know, when you can use a Kaito, he's usually pretty good. Okay, let's go back up here. I want to go back into Jin, who's asking for both solo R5 help as well as arena defense guidance. I want to remind everybody too, if you're new, you don't need to focus too hard on arena defense. Like I would put it as a less priority unless it's something you legitimately enjoy. That would be something that, like, you know, that would probably be something that would get me to play it more often. I liked your Vanessa. I'm a big fan of like revive and death prevention effects, right? You know, we've talked about this quite a bit on the channel, but like that's where I like to be. I like to use big like HP leads, death prevention effects. This is somebody that I want to get a buff to, by the way. I think this unit, oof, I want this unit to get a buff. Actually, hold on. Here's a fun little thought experiment. At the risk of detouring us too much, chat, legitimately, how would you buff this monster? Legitimately, I'm very curious to see what you would think. Because I have an idea, but I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. I have an idea, though. Okay. It's a nice Vanessa. Yeah, it was. Still upsets me that my first LD Nat 5 was old meta. What is your old meta LD Nat 5? Morbius says, I'm not new. Auto crit if the passive activates. At the start of every turn, if your HP did not increase compared to the previous turn and has decreased by less than 30%, it will revert to the previous condition. That's not too bad. That's kind of cool. Auto crit if it activates. It's kind of hot. Siren Night Sparrow, what's up? First time in chat. Welcome. We're doing account reviews today. We're hanging out in chat channel 11. Okay, let me tell you what my suggestion is. Passively takes extra turns. That's how I could buff him, says Matthew. I'd say you should have a buff absorb, to be honest. Okay, so mine is actually, you guys tell me what you think of this. I think what I would do is I would change it so that skill 2 cleave also ignores damage reduction effects. And I'll tell you why I want that. So first of all, it suddenly becomes an answer to invincibility and RTA, yada, yada, yada. That's not a big deal. That's not actually really why I want to do it. The reason why I want it on skill 2 is because then he would have a home in Dimensional Raid. So in Dimensional Raid, where you need damage that ignores damage reduction effects, then he would have a home and you could use him there. Because like right now you have to use either like Leica or Chow's skill 2, you gotta use Justice, you gotta use the Sniper's skill 1, right? Something like that. We have very limited options for that. But this would make it so that now we have an Ancient Coin Shop free-to-play option where people could run it in Dimensional Raid. And the only weakness to, I've cleared Dimensional Raid with him as my sole ignore damage reduction effect monster. The only downside is he opens with cleave. That's it. If he didn't open with, or if, you know, if he either didn't open with cleave or if like we didn't get punished for it, then we're good. Evan Cooking, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Heck yeah, dude. Siren Night Sparrow says, I never expected a stream of Summoners War. Dude, we stream Summoners War weekly here. I'm glad you found it. My Summoners War name is King Stand Up. I'm in chat. I've been in the game for a while just playing, but I want to take it serious now. Need to know what. Perfect. Heck yes, that's exactly the situation I like. Okay. Maybe improve his PvE AI? Dude, I just want the buff. I want the buff, bro. Okay. I'm going to quickly touch on R5. So something about like solo R5 that you'll want to remember, you have a piece here for the BJR5 team, by the way. You really want effects like this, like damage reduction. So running a Darien on a team and then running something like a DS, the Dark Death Knight, so that way you can have 2 different damage reduction effects is super helpful. For this one, Jin, actually, let me just quickly show you my team, just so that way you get an idea. I know there's a couple Nat 5s in here, but I want to briefly touch on them in terms of archetype, right? This is my favorite way to approach R5 because I think it helps. We have a BJ5 team on the right. So this is my big damage Nuki team. If you're using something like that, you want to make sure it's either all the way on the right or all the way on the left. You don't want it in the center. You want to have some degree of control over where that second head goes when that team passes away. So in the middle, I've got my tankiest team, right? So when that team on the far right goes away because it's a glass cannon, now this team is built to handle that second head. And so Ariel, you can think of Ariel as any monster with full team cleanse on a hard skill, not a passive, because passives aren't as good in R5. The boss can apply Oblivion. To that effect, right, I'm using Zhang Fei, the Fire Panda. Zhang Fei's skill 2 is a full team cleanse, and he also applies healing, but the reason we have him here is removing the harmful effects granted on all allies. So you want to run something like a Zhang Fei. I also run a Riley because she has something similar. She removes 1 on skill 3. Then in terms of like impactful debuffs, looking for defense break, looking for slows, you want access to a branding if possible. I use Brandia now. This used to be Skogul, the wind guy, the wind giant guy. Giant, yeah, you know the one with the ball. I forgot his family name. Perfect. Okay. Sorry guys, I know I'm spending a lot of time talking about different stuff in here. Kimpy, Could you review my... Oh, also, one more thing for Jin, because they wanted a review on this. I like the Vanessa, but what I would try to do instead is maybe throw in something that's a little bit like... if we're going semi-free to play, like throwing in a Darien in here is great. I also use Triana, the Wind Heart Magician. She's another death prevention effect. And then some semblance of damage. Some semblance of damage in here would be great, maybe instead of the Veramos. Okay. If Chloe makes her entire team invincible, how come I can still see them? Good question. How come I can still see them? You're welcome, Jin. I hope that helps. RPG Bandit. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late for the stream. How do we apply for an account review? Not a problem. Not a problem, dude. Welcome aboard. Just hop in chat channel 11 all. I'm on global server right now. I'm probably gonna join a EU server in like maybe 15 minutes, something like that. Just so that way we can help folks who have been waiting. Looking for help progress on giants and dragons and what I should be grinding to progress. Just got back into the game and this is Deathlord 2508. What I should be grinding to progress. So you've got your head in the right spot. Trying to get into giants so that way you can get that foundation of swift runes that we always talk about being so important, because it is. That's probably the best thing you can do for yourself early. So, and you're really close here. I just think it's a little bit, I think it might be a little bit inconsistent. So I would take out the Archangel. I would also, people use Galleon. They do use Galleon. I don't like Galleon so much as other people do. I prefer the Light Inugami, Beladion, and technically you can still use Sigmaris, but I recommend either Crow, Naomi, or like a Kamamir. Let's just briefly look around. Sigmaris is okay. Ah, there we go, a Kamamir. I actually think a Kamamir might be better for you because he's got element advantage too. This is like, you can actually rune him on less crit rate and get away with a lot more, you know, because of Giant Warrior. Yeah, thank you, Kanagi. Yeah, you got me. Neuro Nerd. When y'all going to do a progression tip review of my awesome account? I need to know where to spend my Devilmons. Grr. The grr at the end caught me by surprise. Also, so what do you got? What are your options? Throw them in chat. Silly Gengar. Use them on your garbage nat 5. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't listen to that. Okay, so is this the Veramos that we're using? I think this might be the Veramos. Again, while this isn't technically wrong, right? What I would recommend, my favorite way to rune a Veramos these days in the year of our Lord 2025. What the heck, dude? I was in a coma. What year is it? I like him on Rage, dude. I like a crit damage Veramos. I'm a big fan of this. Ever since they buffed this thing to like scale with enemy max HP, I like him to be a hybrid support DPS. And I think that's gonna be my recommendation for you. He's also totally worth Devilmoning, to be honest. Like, I know there are some people out there who would just fuse a bunch of Veramoses. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people, just being straight up. I use Devilmon on him and I don't regret it. It's up to you if you want to do that, or if you want to put in the effort to try to fuse a bunch of Veramoses. It's way easier nowadays to fuse a bunch of Veramoses, though. Okay. So shifting him over to a Rage build. Speed, crit damage, HP on your 2, 4, and 6 slots is my favorite way to do it. You can rune in a Kamamir kind of similarly, except you can go more of like you can go crit damage, you can do attack. This is okay. This is actually okay. I would maybe just like get him a little bit more crit damage, just a smidge more crit damage, and crit rate. Crit rate more important than crit damage. Now, I've already talked about Shannon enough, right? We know Shannon is really good for this dungeon. So I would use her, and I'd use Beladion the Light Inugami as well. Let's, oh, did you ask who to focus on? This is an amazing pull, by the way. The fact that you've already got Varad, it's insane. I still haven't pulled a Varad. Varad will make Trial of Ascension so easy for you, dude. I'm so happy that you have this monster. Combined with Teor too, technically speaking, you could try out some, oh my God, and you have a Jameer. This was my first nat 5. This, I mean, you could use Jameer with these two monsters in Trial of Ascension, actually, and have a fairly easy time. That's awesome. That's so awesome, bro. Oh, Mr. J. Let me help Mr. J real quick, because Mr. J, I just saw this. So Mr. J, just playing, want to take it seriously now. I need to know what to work on. That's awesome. So Angel says, oh, we've got Mav, first time in chat, dude. Mav, have you met Waterboard Mav by chance? Are you guys acquainted? Violent was my way to go. I only use Rage and Blade for guild. Roger that. I really like Rage for PvE. I would say, dude, Rage in PvE environments is incredible. In fact, all my damage dealers for PvE are pretty much on Rage. That is, it's really good. Oh, interesting. Angel. Hey, Evan, I'm a pretty casual player, but I think I have the monsters for faster Kairos runs. But nothing I try works out for me. I could use some advice. I got you. I will do my best. So, dude, I know that feeling. It's so hard. It's like hitting your head up against a wall. You're like, why is this not working? I feel that. What's your in-game name? Let me help here real quick. Kings stand up. So they're back in the game. They want to take it more seriously now. Looks like they haven't dipped their toes in RTA yet. They've already got working dungeon teams. That's great. Let's go in. So if you want to take it more seriously, let's see. Does that mean potentially RTA? Yo, this monster popping off right now in RTA, by the way. It's popping off. Like, the buffs worked. Whoever was trying to make She-Hell one of the best monsters in the game, congratulations. You did it. He's great. We don't need to buff him anymore. Or we could buff him a little bit more and he'll be the best monster in the game. Whatever. Okay. Evan, I pulled a dupe Leia from my free LD scroll summon. Oh, dude, I'm still waiting for my first one. Okay. The R5 advice works? My R5 advice? Did something work? You'll have to tell me. Unless there's a separate there might be a separate conversation happening on YouTube. Oh, wow. Oh, you do have good monsters. Okay, so let's look through here real quick. And this is a great counter pick. Let's see what we could do. Crowd control, if we were so inclined. Oh, you got a Lamila. You got a Lamami. That's awesome. Velajul. Okay, hold on. I think I missed a couple things in here. I'm just looking. Leica for a counter pick. He's actually pretty dope right now in RTA 2. I'm looking around to see what you could potentially do once like the new season comes around. Oh, you've got a Nikki? Oh, bro, I would be trying to take the game serious too. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, very cool. You can make a dot team. Feel free to check me out, Evan. I have regained my composure. Just know nothing is tuned or built properly. Understood. Oh, there's Boy. One Boy. Yo, Evan, returning player, just trying to get some direction to take my account. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna move a little faster because I know a lot of people are waiting. Sorry about that. Okay. So considering that you have a Nikki as well, I would maybe do something where you have both her and the Velajul on a team, then you have double cleanse. You could do something annoying with Alice if you want. You could do a defense-oriented, like Bruiser comp. I love Bruiser comps, by the way, so I'm slightly biased towards recommending people use Bruiser comps. Oh, and you've got Annabelle, too, to work into this. Yeah, you've got a lot of really good monsters to, like, keep your team alive. With that in mind, right, so, like, Jongnam is still good, even post-nerf, and you have the tools to keep him alive. Like, Velajul, something Wind, or, like, you could do, like, Velajul, something Jongnam, or you could do like crowd control-y things with like Chungpung. So that way Chungpung can kind of open up the team with skill 2 to strip everyone AoE, apply defense break. Jongnam's there to reduce everyone's attack bar and stun them. Like that's a way to do it. If you're already stripping them and applying defense break, Nikki could also come in, apply attack buff, and just bring the whole team's attack bars down. Wind Robo could keep them CC'd. So I think your account would hypothetically probably want to skew towards either Bruiser or crowd control. So I would look into those two. I think Bruiser might be slightly easier to tackle perhaps, But I would look into that. I would look into options for that. Once the season comes back around, again, we're in Special League right now, so there's only 4 stars available currently. These are great questions, by the way, guys. What was Anhelm's? Oh, let's do Boy Boy. Boy Boy returning. This is a returning player. Just need some help with the direction on my account. Okay. So just to get a little context here, you already have a functioning team for every single one. Could probably speed them up a little bit. I don't know if that's a Rage Verd, just based on the time. So we might be able to speed it up by getting him on Rage and doing crit damage. Oh, the Spiritual Realm team also can be improved very, very easily, actually. Actually, we don't even need to spend too much time on this. For your Spiritual Realm team, this should be closer to like 47 seconds, and it's not, or like maybe like that's a little extreme, could be just under a minute. If it goes this long, it's actually kind of dangerous. Like the run is probably it's more likely to fail. I would just say take out Cocky, take out Riley. We don't need a healer. Here's what we're gonna run instead. We're gonna run a Lauren. We're gonna run a Seek, the Fire Hellhound. And then it's totally cool if you want to keep Spectra, but I really like Aster. And you actually have an Aster. You can run Aster here. So the whole thing in Spiritual Realm is you have to crit, and the boss imposes a negative chance to crit. So she's going to reduce your crit rate by, I think, 50-ish%. So instead, what we can do is we can use Seek the Fire Hellhound to increase our crit rate. He applies a crit rate buff, and then we're going to use predominantly fire monsters. You could use Shina instead of Lauren. I've seen people do that. I use Lauren, and it's completely fine though. So that's how to improve Spiritual Realm, and it should go a lot faster. Oh, Marina! What's up, Marina? It's been a while. The OVO says, I've been playing for like a year, and I have no idea what I'm doing. That's so real. That's so real. Summoner's War is kind of hard to start, and that's exactly why I'm trying to do this, you know, to do these streams. Awesome. Angel says on Lightning, if you have time for that faster Kairos advice. Okay, let me try this. Evan, why you ignore me? I'm not trying to ignore you, Ultra Death Lord. Am I ignoring you in chat? I'm so sorry. I'm really not trying to. So you already have functioning teams though. Let's just jump in real quick because we want to give advice for Boy Boy to improve their account. Let's just briefly look. I had a feeling. So this is not a crit damage Verd. I'm also noticing there's no artifacts on him. He's definitely deserving of some, and you could skill him up. So you have free damage just sitting here. Dude, you could like massively boost like your speed right now. You could also benefit from this, making him the slowest monster on your team. Maybe not less than an additional like 42, 43-ish speed. Shift him over to Rage. Put him on he can even be attack, crit damage attack, dude. That's what mine's on, and I love it. It's so great. Crit damage, that's fantastic if you can swing it. But again, with less speed to have to worry about, maybe you'll be able to find the crit rate stats you need. So if you do that, skill him up, and put artifacts on him, you're gonna notice he's gonna do a ton of damage. Like that's gonna be a huge bonus. So Verd, one of the best monsters in the game. Obviously, I know it, no surprise to anyone, right? I'm just looking around to see if there's any, oh, this is amazing for arena offense. Michael just got this and I was so jealous. Michael got a new LD5. Did I tell you guys? Michael got a new LD5 within like a few months of the last LD5 he got. And it took me 5 years to get my second LD. And you know what's even funnier? His first LD5 was Nyx, the Dark Hacker. His second LD Net 5 was Nyx, the Dark Fairy King. He now has both Nyxes. How cool is that? He's a Nyx fan. I just got my Brandia back. Nice, dude. You got 2 Charger Sharks back-to-back ones. Okay, if you want to play like PvP, build Oliver ASAP. 33% speed lead, and it gets better from there. If you want faster dungeon times, just keep Kyle, the Water Poison Master, in the back of your mind. Cigar is still good. He's still usable. He's still usable. Miles is fantastic. You can pair him with Rakuni, the Fire Hard. So Boy, build Oliver. He's worth the skill ups. Shift your Verd over to Rage for dungeons. Let me just briefly. Do I have my Verd out? I don't have my Verd. Oh, Wait, doesn't matter. Where's my Verd? I think I have 2 Verds in here. Which one of these is my Verd? This one's my Verd. So this Verd, right? So I've got him on just attack, crit damage, attack. The hardest part is getting the crit rate and plus 53 speed. So that's the thing to remember, guys. So plus 53 speed, that's not a lot of speed. Like the amount of opportunities that open up when you don't have to worry about speed is marvelous, right? So don't get too overwhelmed by stuff, because like if you're ditching speed on Verd, now all of a sudden, easy, that speed stat can be a crit rate stat or a crit damage. Like that's great. Yeah, 5 accuracy wasted stats. You're welcome, boy. Okay, back up here. I actually don't see, I know that Lightning was sending messages. I don't see Lightning. I think, are you guys on all chat? You see up there by 11, it's on all chat? I actually don't see that. Anhelm, how do I help? What do you need help with? What is your question? How can I assist? Can I get help on Punishers and Spiritual so I can build a faster Dragons team and more consistent Necro? Guys, I just got so hungry right now. Something about the idea of farming Punisher's Crypt just got me like super hungry. I'll do EU. Should I do EU? Wait, guys, should I do EU? Hands up in chat if you want me to swap over to the EU server. Let me know if you want me to swap over. Oh. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me give some of this. I just got excited because I saw Marina. Hands up. Oh God, no. No, please check mine first. I posted it on chat. Sorry guys. I didn't mean to like, I didn't mean to stress everybody out. That's my bad. Hoo-wee. Oh my gosh, this Giants team is fantastic. Oh my God, 52 seconds at this. Look at this. How long have you been playing? 19 days? Bro, is it that easy to make a speed team now? What the heck? This is so good. Oh, but 5 minutes and 10 seconds for Spiritual Realm. That's like scraping by on a dream. For Spiritual Realm, oh, and that was your question. That was the question. For Spiritual Realm, I know we just talked about this. You want it to be predominantly fire because she imposes that negative chance to crit. So have Verd, have Seek the Fire Hell. Did I mention why we're using Seek? He buffs crit rate and attack for 3 turns, and that's how long the skill is on cooldown. So if you're using Seek on the team, you will functionally have crit rate buff on the entire time, right? So that's the idea with Seek the Fire Hellhound. So he moves first to apply crit rate buff, then your defense breaker. Lauren moves followed by the rest of your comp. And I like to use Rauk, I use Verd, I also use Esther. Okay. As far as Punisher's Crypt goes, I would like one more team-up effect on here. What do I use for mine these days? Am I using the Vampires Walking Dogs team? Let's find out. Where is this? I am using the Vampires Walking Dogs team. So I'm using Ergar lead, Crow, Rauk, Ikaru, Verd, potentially, as well. You can also target the towers, I think, for that one if you want. If you just want to clear, you can target the towers first. Is that what I'm using right now? I feel like I thought I was using something else. Maybe I was messing around. Oh, was I using Seren? Does this, maybe I was using Seren? Huh, I don't remember that. Do we want to try this and see if it works? Let's just see. I don't know if this works. I might have been just messing around. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll just see what happens. We'll try it really quick. I don't actually, this seems kind of scuffed, but we'll see. I say that, but I really like Seren. I think she's dope. Also, Evan, me, and Havoc were talking about food earlier. Oh, that probably got me. That probably got it for me. My free play team got 46 seconds. Yeah, I don't know. This seems a little scuffed, guys. I think this might have just been something that I was playing around with when she came out. Well, we'll see. I like the Violent Friends opener. Nice, big branding. Good job, Crow. Good boy. That's a really good dog. That's a very good boy. Oh, this is actually, well, okay. Well, so it's okay. Assuming she opens with Violent Friends, maybe it's fine. 42 seconds. Kind of cute. Cute. defense artifacts with so that's an option too, using Seren apparently. That was actually not bad. That was not bad. Marina. Take a look if you want, Evan. I would love to take a look and just see how Marina's account. Marina's got a stellar account. Like, just look at this stuff, dude. What are you running in dungeons these days? Oh, this is the Liam comp. We talked about this earlier. This is perfect, dude. Marina, yeah, we were talking about the Liam and Kyle team and how like this is kind of the final form of the team. So that's great. That's awesome. I notice you're using the attack lead from Shaina. So question about that. Are you using that so that Shaina benefits from the lead so that way she can do damage? Or are you doing that because the turn order needs to work? Like are they tightly speed tuned so they need to work in this order? For damage, roger that. Did you guys know that, by the way? There's a fun fact from Summoner's War is that like if 2 units have exactly the same speed, the left one goes first. So that's the situation where you would need to like, where order matters. Normally order doesn't matter too much, but like it can. Okay. The OVO says, can you actually look at people's accounts that need help? 2-minute dungeons, etc. My bad, bro, my bad, my bad. What's your in-game name again, the OVO? Please check my, how can I help? It's Teovo, I just scrolled up. Where art thou? I don't see you, bro. Oh, there's Lightning. I can help Lightning. My bad, bro. They got a point. They got a point. Preach. All right, let's help Angel. Angel needs help. Angel needs help, right? Lightning? Let me just check again. So, post it in all chat. Thank you guys for the patience. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. If you have time for the faster Kairos advice, that's what this was. Okay, again, so why don't we've talked a lot about giants. We've talked a lot about giants and dragons. I know we talked about Spiritual Realm a second ago, but I did just want to reiterate, take out the Riley. So ideally for Spiritual Realm, guys, we should not need a healer. We don't want a healer in this one. We just want Seek. If we have the Fire Hellhound in here, we probably don't need to heal. That's the idea. If they're dead, they can't kill us. That's our mindset. That's the grind set we're going in with. I like your Punisher's Crypt team. It's a little, oh man, actually it's using Sonya. Wait, no, I really like it. I did a version of this with Sonya and Destiny because Destiny was my second LD5. Very cool. But yeah, why did he clock you like that? Oh, it's funny. Hi, Evan. What runes should I look out for in Necro in terms of the rolls? Tay Cook, that's a really good suggestion. So, in Necro, the runes that I'm there for are predominantly Rage and Will, right? So I roll everything with 6 speed on it. If it's got 6 speed on it, I try for a quad roll or a trip roll. But generally speaking, for Rage, you really want to emphasize crit rates, right? Crit damage, slightly less so, which sounds counterintuitive because you put them on Rage so they do more crit damage. But let me tell you, those 2 stats are deeply entwined, right? So if you're a new player trying to get those Rage runes, make sure that they have crit rate. That's a fundamental principle that it takes a long time for people, myself included, right? This is from experience. I've struggled with this forever. I didn't keep runes with a lot of crit rate. Crit rate is generally more important than crit damage because if you're missing crits, well, then it's a non-starter, you know? You don't even benefit from the damage. So again, just to summarize, Tay, like I like to roll everything with speed, but with Rage, look for crit rate, obviously crit damage, we like attack, and everything in percent values. Crit rate and crit damage will only appear in percent values. Let's talk Necropolis for a second, right? Because your Necro team, we haven't talked about Necro a ton. If this is clearing, you're good to go. That's probably fine. I think you could probably take out the Fran and add in 1 more damage dealer if you're so inclined. That could be Rauk, the Fire Inugami, could be Aster. My favorite monster for Necro is notably absent, Abigail, the Water Cannon Girl. She has a 38% attack power lead in dungeons. She makes for a great first to move unit in Necro. We were joking about how mine has 0% accuracy earlier. So I would try to see if you maybe have that. For your Dragons team, double check about the Verd and the Veramos. If your Verd and your Veramos aren't on Rage, I would maybe think about shifting them over to it. But otherwise, I like it. Just remember the small piece of tech from the starter guide. If you actually have your Crow move ahead of your Spectra, he'll apply the branding, right? So you can have it be Lauren moves first, then Crow, then your 2 damage dealers, and finally Verd. That's the turn order. Okay, let's see what else we got. Teovo. You have a Deborah? Bro, what are we doing? That's awesome. How can I help you? Is it just dungeon help, by the way? Yes, you're the best. The tone has changed now. The tone's changed. I'm just teasing, bro. You're so good. Honestly, you're right. I should focus more on people who need the help. You're right about that. You said an arena team. Your Giants team looks splendiferous. Your Giants team looks great. 1, 2, 3, Crispy. 1, 2, 3 Dragons. Good time on Necro as well. And you said an arena team. Is that an offense as well? Oh, and yet again, we need another Seek the Fire Hellhound. Okay, is that a defense comp? Okay, let's talk defense first. He got that Leo. Oh, he got that Leo, which is, so yeah, okay, first things first. There's a couple things we gotta talk about. And this is good. There's 2 big issues with the team. And we love big issues because that usually means they're easy to solve. That usually means we can do something about it. First of all is Leo. So you don't necessarily want to be the one to provide the Leo in Arena, right? So exactly. Marina put it so eloquently. Leo seems very good on defense, but he gets hard countered very easily. So the thing about this too is like you're also giving them the Leo. So that means the very popular team, which is Leo, Double Lucian, or Leo, Lucian, etc. Now they don't need to worry about bringing the Leo because it's already present here. And Leo is only there to normalize the speeds. The second issue is that it's defense scaling. So the problem with this is that because of the popularity of things like Lucian and ignore defense comps in general, having a comp that is predominantly defense is, again, going to make their job a little easier. Darkest Days. Yes, can you dive more into the Dogs Punisher team? Yeah, I can do that. I do have a YouTube video on it too, if you want to take a look. I don't know if it helps a ton. But Darkest Days, the other thing you can do is you could remove one of the monsters. I forget which one I took out. I think I took out Raok, and I put in Seren instead. Siren Night Sparrow. Everyone here is super experienced. Yeah, we have a huge repository of information in chat, which is pretty awesome. Marina made another good point. Everything that boosts attack bar basically counters Leo. Like Verd would go insane here. Exactly. So let's see what we can do about it. So now we've identified the 2 issues. Now let's see what we can do. Let's talk about alternatives. So real quick, so Rakan stands out to me as a cool monster to run on defense. I actually used to run him with Darian, Abelio, and a big HP lead. Let me just look real quick. Darian. Oh, I love that monster. Okay. So having looked through here, I think we're gonna leverage a Triana, put it on the far right of the comp, put it on the far right. I really like Darian. I like the Rakan. Usually we try to lean more fire because of Lucian. Lucian has such an impact in Arena that we try to go off element when possible, right? So we try to have element advantage over him because he's so popular. So you can run a Rakan, and then I think some kind of HP lead. I don't know exactly which monster I'm gonna recommend here for you, but an HP lead would go pretty hard. Ramses. Dude, I love this question. So does the position on defense make a difference? So generally speaking, no. Oh my God, wait, where is she? Generally speaking, no. However, Triana has a passive ability that offsets incoming damage, so she can save somebody, right? She can save somebody if they would die. The reason why you put her on the far right is because in the event that your entire team is cleaved, like let's say I'm using Galleon to AoE defense break, and then I use Kaki to use his skill 2 to wipe out your whole team, including Triana. In that event, she will only save units that are on the left. She can't save unit because her death will, okay, so if you think about it like if you play Magic the Gathering, it's like the stack. So it's like her trigger, like her passive goes on the stack, but her death is also there. And it doesn't work exactly like MTG, but it's like, you know, the trigger's there, and it's like she's gonna die before she sees the people next to her die. So after, to the right of her, she will not be there because she will already died. She will have already died. Exactly. So it's so fascinating. Like it took me a long time to know about that, but it's really cool. So basically, you can also use that to your advantage. Like if you don't mind them dying, it's whatever, but you can put the monsters that you want her to save on that side. So just think about that. Deaths trigger left to right. In Ramses, in the event that the whole team dies, it's left, exactly, it's left, left to right. I had to reverse that for Twitch, but yeah. Would that also affect things like Water Paladin passive? That I don't know. I don't know about that. That doesn't use, oh, so Tay, can you please recommend a different team that doesn't use Abigail or Aster for people who don't have them or the twins? And I hope that helped, by the way, Tay. Oh, 1000% run Nyx. The Dark Hacker. Yeah, I love that. I didn't even see that he had that. What am I doing? The Necro team without this. So if you don't have Abigail, you can actually run Ergar, the Dark Vampire Lord, instead. Where's my Ergar? Which one is it? This one is Rage 54. This one is dude. Is my Ergar scuffed right now? I don't remember my Ergar being this scuffed. That can't be right. Something's wrong here. Something's wrong. You can use Ergar, just don't use my Ergar. As long as you're not using my Ergar, you should be fine. But yeah, you could do, you can use Ergar, the Dark Vampire Lord. ASAP, effective. Matthew Lawrence says, oh my God, Evan, I have to take this moment right now to beg you to tell Come To Us Lamila needs a nerf. What? I don't want, what? Bro, I don't want to nerf that. So instead, you can totally run Ergar, the Dark Vampire Lord in this comp. And he's available in the Ancient Coin Shop. So you can use him instead. And then you can use Seren, the Dark Harpu. Let's do this. Tenacious, do I keep? For like a Nemtra, maybe? Well, I don't know. I don't know, dude. Chat, would you keep this? Would you keep this? It rolled into attack. Would you keep this rune? You can always re-app too. You can always re-app. Not that people don't really re-app Nemesis runes unless you're me. I re-app everything. I don't care. I'll re-app anything, guys. Yeah, I'm not a huge, I don't know who this would go on. So looking at this rune, I don't know who this would go on. Thank you, Have It. Yeah, exactly. Is this the right channel? This is the right channel. I'm sorry, guys. Let's do some of this. Hey, it's Biggins. It's Glass Goblins. It's been forever. Want to review my account and look at the box real quick? Yes, dude. That's awesome. Lydia, brother, let's do this. So we got a 43-second Giants time. We got a 122 Dragons. Welcome back, by the way, dude. Thank you for checking in again. This is really cool. I hope you guys are enjoying doing this. It's been a long time since we've had this. We've got yet again another thing. We gotta take out the Rileys. The Rileys, I know, are like, they've made an impression in the spiritual realm. I don't like healers there, guys. I think we take them out. We're all about damage. We want to kill. We want to kill. That's it. This is looking real cool, dude. Oh. I wish I could see more of the teams that you're using on R5, by the way. That's something that I really genuinely wish. Oh, look at this. You have a 42-second solo time, and these are like fairly free to play. These are all free to play monsters on here. 2A Lulu is a really good suggestion for an AoE cleanse on a hard skill, on an active skill, non-passive. That's a great point right there. There's some lessons to be gleaned from this if you're trying to build a solo R5 team. Okay. By the way, just out of curiosity, how many people are still here that are on EU server that want me to hop over there? Because now would probably be a good time for me to jump over. RPG Bandit, any suggestions for an upgrade for my monsters? We're going into Dragon's Abyss. Currently a free-to-play team. Oh my God. The dragons, you're level 90, you're level 91 and have practically all the dragons. You've got Grogan. You already have an LD Nat 5. Dude, folks are getting LD Nat 5 so fast nowadays. Apart from the vampire, who else is useful from the ancient coin shop? Eastern Marty, good question. Bernadotte the Fire Shadowclaw is also really useful. I use his crit rate lead actively in Steel Fortress. Nobody do what Evan is doing, no re-apping Nemesis. Ultra Deathlord is correct. You should save your re-apps for Violent, for Will, Swift on occasion. It's very much you should re-app the high priority runes. Do as I say, not as I do. Boom. Disclaimers out there. 4,001 days. Wow, I didn't even notice that. 4,001 days. I just realized that we didn't talk about how to do the dragons. I got distracted on there. I'm noticing 1, 2, 3. 1 minute 23 seconds is a really frequent record time. I think this is the third or fourth time we've seen this as the fastest clear time for dragons. I wonder why that happens. Let's talk about how to improve this real quick. So let's just check the Verd. It's on 100%, 130. It's pretty decent. We could skill this up. I think skilling it up, there's a lot of damage that's being lost in not skilling up your Verd. Truly. We got attack, crit damage, attack. That's awesome. We already have the stat values we want. We got the main stats represented here. I think shifting it over to Rage would do a lot for it. Oh, and this is the Fire Shadowclaw, by the way. This is his functional equivalent. So for that question from Eastern Marty about who else to get from the Ancient Coin Shop, this is one to get. Though I like to get everybody, to be honest. I do try to get everybody from the Ancient Coin Shop. That is real cool. I love that you have Grogan, bro. And then after that, right, so I would just try to follow that starter team. So Lauren moves first, then Crow, then your 2 damage dealers, so Veramos and be it Spectra or Aster, and then finally your Verd. So your Verd should be the last one to move on your team. It looks like right now he might be moving ahead of certain people, 99, 76. So yeah, so that's the thing too. If you were to put him on Rage, you could slow him down. So you would like to do that. I think it would be very good if you could slow down your Verd so that way he moves after the rest of your comp. Again, for that same reason of getting that full 40% attack bar. Launch account can be harder than beginner account now. Yeah, that's dude. It is so much easier to start in Summoner's War now than it used to be. Man, it was hard to start back in the day. It took a lot of truly sessions like this are what helped me get better and more acclimated in Summoner's War. I had people here at the office, I had friends here that would help me learn how to play the game. So those are a couple tips for that. Buds. Okay. Let's look in here. Fastlix, do I keep? Oh, dude, that's a sick rune. Yeah, you keep. Oh, accuracy 4% on the focus rune is really funny. But yes, you keep that. That's dope. If so, who do I put it on? Well, that's a different question. It depends what we're trying to rune for. I just want to show you my profile. I'm very proud of it. Wow. This is beautiful, dude. This is really beautiful. The only thing is this light robo is kind of throwing off the symmetry, but that's okay. Or is it, wait, no. Is that a dark monster? Never mind. Wait, that's a light, is that not the light one? That's the light one, I think. That's just doing a really good impression of a dark monster in there. I was gonna say something's throwing it off. I think that might be what it is, but this is really good. This is a beautiful profile. This is a beautiful profile. Congrats on the LDNAV5 as well. That's awesome. Okay, so I want to ask one more time, guys. Anybody who needs help on the EU server? Anybody who needs help on there? For our runes, good example. You just said, Evan, is there a website that shows what we need for our runes? Good example. You just said, let me hop on over to the Europe server. So it shows we need our runes. Good example. You just said rage runes need crit. So the OVO, this is something that just kind of you just kind of pick up after a while. You know, there's a lot of like little things that kind of you just pick up after some time. So, okay, guys, I just jumped on here. Let me go to. Sorry, let me. Oh no, Ellie is talking to me again. This happens every time. Sorry, I did that in opposite order. All 11. Let's do this. So there's not necessarily like a, oh, thank you for all your help, Evan. Love your vids. Dude, thank you. Thank you so much. So that's where I kind of try to put the information, by the way, is in the videos and like here. Because otherwise you just kind of learn it over time. So there's not like a great way to do that. The only place where it exists in the game is within like the collection. So if you were to go to like for instance, let's just like tap on a random monster. So like let's say the Fire Monkey King. If you go to monster info, right, you can view, oh, look at this, we're getting the tutorial, community, usage, and stats. So you can check like the average rune engraving here. You can check properties, right? So this is close. But then with some of these learnings, right, you're like, oh, he's predominantly runed on crit damage. Take this with a grain of salt, right? But now that this is like here, you can be like, oh, he needs crit damage. That likely means he needs crit rate. Usually you want to take into account certain factors for that, right? So it's like, am I runing for RTA? Does this monster need 100% crit rate? Or is it something like a Teshar for like giants? Like for instance, Teshar with his crit rate leader skill, I don't really need 100% crit rate. But for something like RTA, my Meho Wang, my Fire Monkey King, I would want this to have 100% crit rate. You know what I mean? So you kind of take situations like that into account. Okay, back into chat. Pikara, what can I do for you? RPG, I appreciate the advice. I didn't realize my Verd wasn't skilled up. I've had that thing built for like 6 years. The same thing happened to me, RPG Bandit. You know, so let me tell you why. And I think it's because you and I have had him built for 6 years. Because I don't know if you guys remember this, but like back in the day, Verd used to only hit once on skill 2. And so it actually used to be encouraged to not skill up Verd all the way. Do you remember that? And then he was buffed to hit twice on skill 2. And then after that, you need to skill him up. So like years passed, I check out my Verd, he was missing skill ups. It was pretty awesome. Tay, great idea. Maybe the next video can talk a little on free runes for beginners and who to use them on. That's a good suggestion. So actually, just in full transparency, the video that's coming out on Saturday is on the best rune sets in the game and where to find them. I don't go into like who to put them on a ton. I give certain examples, but not a lot. It's more about like where to get them. But if that's a video you want made, I could maybe look into that. Help with runing or anything. Can't get C1 in RTA or Arena. I don't know why. Well, you've got Yanhong. Yanhong's pretty dope, but Yanhong is not a full team on her own. So let's see. You have amazing dungeon times. Amazing dungeon times. Let's. What is your core in RTA? You have a beautiful island too. Dr. Perp, I had no idea Dark Vampire Lord could be skilled up by feeding Verd and members of his family for like a whole year and a half. Yeah, I have none, sadly. Cool, that's totally fine too. That's a perfectly okay answer. So it looks like you don't have a lot of monsters out. So maybe I could come back, since I'm not like going into your account, I can't really see. So if you take out some monsters, I'll come back. I'll come back, don't worry. Okay. Oh, Straw Hat Luffy, Mugiwara no Luffy. I love One Piece. I haven't watched the last couple episodes, but I am fully caught up on One Piece. I love One Piece. Medi, early game player after a long time pause with new account. Let's see what we got. Oh, bro. You have a Julienne, an Oberon, and a Jogun? What? Dude, I would come back to there's no way you could not get me to leave an account like this. That's crazy. That is so dope. I'm glad you're back. Has been playing for 26 days? That can't be right. That can't be right. Right? That can't be right. Oh my god, Field Medic. Who named Light Onimusha's passive, by the way? I don't know. I don't know, but that is one of those names, dude. That's one of those names that just slipped through the cracks to me. Same with Barbara's skill 3. Barbara's skill 3, don't even get me started. Start of attacking, guys. Come on, let's clean that up. Let's clean that up, guys. Come on. What are we doing here? Start of attacking? Really? Anyway, all right. It was a little awkward. I think I remember the ninjas used to have a skill T that had 25% chance to instantly kill monsters, or it was a fever dream. I don't recall that. I don't remember that, but that's pretty cool. Let's jump in here then. Let's talk about what to focus on. So for Medi, so for somebody who's like coming back into the game here, you got triple fight. So you have a good head on your shoulders for like the teams and stuff. There's the Argon. Where's the Julian? That's so sick. That's awesome, dude. Man, this monster's so cool. Yeah, that's gonna be great in RTA. So I'm a little unclear on what you need help with. So, maybe it's like the monsters you've got, because I see you have a lot of Nat 5s back here. So out of these, like Shiho is a really valuable one. So is Asher. So this is Asher, and like going into why, right? So, do we need to talk about why? I guess we could talk about why. So Shiho actually, after Awakening, has a really good base speed. So he's fast. He has an insane kit. He can strip. He can stun. He can apply invincibility and immunity on himself. So he can kind of be both a starter and a finisher. So he can be the monster you kind of rely on to finish out a game for you. Asher is a toolkit. Like, he's just a full utility belt monster. This third skill should not be allowed to exist. I don't know who made this, but it's fantastic. Antigen says, I pulled Asher, but the comments seem pretty underwhelming, so I haven't touched him. Dude, if you're using him for PvP, he is fantastic. He's fantastic. This third skill does so much, dude. It cleanses him and another unit, it heals, and it hits a bunch and applies defense break. I don't know who wrote this thing, but they were on one when they did it. Like, this is crazy. Plus, he's got strip and silence and a heal block. He's a great monster. He really is super stellar. Tessarion is worth a build. And honestly, you have really valuable Nat 5s. Ariel's worth it for R5. So in terms of like priorities, if you're good for Giants, right? How's this doing? You also have this ruined on Swift. Is this like just getting the benefit from Swift? There's 10 speed there, 5 speed there. Wow. Yeah, so if your plan is to skew into RTA, which I think it should because you've got fun things like a Julienne and an Oberon, I would build some of those monsters we talked about, like the Water Monkey King, Asher, even Carnal down the line. Like, you have really valuable Nat 5s. Okay, let me jump out of here and let's see if I can help with Pekara as well. I got my monsters out. I have all Nat 4s, didn't have space to get them out. Understood. Let's see if we can find a core. And chat, I would love your help with this too. If you see something I don't see, please help. Any recommendation on how to get monsters faster than just continuing to run Giants all the time for Swift? I feel like PvP is all speed and I can't keep up with giving my monsters runes. Yeah, so Antigen, there's a couple ways to do it. So if you're like, also welcome to the chat, by the way. I just saw it was your first time chatting. Sorry guys, my throat's getting a little dry after talking for so long. If you're semi-newer to the game, the way to do it, right, is kind of like how you're doing it. where you farm giants and you try to get more rolls into speed. The other ways to do this, though, is to spend time in raids. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you ever feel like you're plateauing in Summoner's War, that usually means you should spend a little time in R5. Dude, the grinds you get in there can push your runes beyond what they're meant to be. It's so good. Picked the game back up during the JJK event, but I played like 10 years ago. Oh, perfect. Okay, so yes, so that's the way to do it. So you cycle through, you try to get the rolls on runes you need, but the way to get them faster is via grinds. So once you get the grinds from R5, you can add 3, 4, even 5 more speed on top of your stats. So that's the way to do it. Okay, let's talk core. We've talked about Shiho a ton. Shiho's fantastic. A lot of people are using him a lot. Obabo's been picking like Vanessa Shiho. So I love starting with a speed leader. Starting with a 33 lead, be it either Vanessa or Oliver, to me is one of my favorite ways to start in RTA right now. Oh my God, you got Lima. I love Lima. Bro, you have some fun monsters. Oh, and you have this thing? You could like legitimately go Vanessa, Shiho, Wind Twins. You know, like you could do Vanessa, Wind Twin, Shiho. And then bring like a Yanhong if you want. Or guys, how do you play with Yanhong, guys? Do you want to play it where you boost somebody up? You could go for a snipe. Okay, wait. Let's talk like general. Like let's take it easy. Let's play some RTA. Let's have a good time. Like that is more like Vanessa, Shiho, and either Wind Twins or like Velajewel, so that way you have an access to immunity. You have a lot of really high value fire monsters. Asher, I'm a big fan of Jingjae, the Wind Monkey King, if they pick Oliver, because Oliver turn cycles a ton, so he's hitting a bunch of people. Jingjae's passive gives him an opportunity to stab back at him. And then these two, I would just kind of throw in, dude. Like Yanhong's just an incredible monster. You'll want to rune her right so that she has high crit. So high crit rate, because she doesn't auto crit like her sister, right? Throws a fan to attack the enemy 3 times with each attack have a 50% chance to strip. Yeah. Daphnis would be super fun to use, maybe also Wind Dragon. I thought Team Combo Julian, Riley, and 2 other monsters would be a nice monster option. True that. These monsters are crazy. Okay, now let's talk about if you're like, I wanna kill people. You're like, I wanna snipe fools. I wanna take lives. Now we're talking. So Vanessa and maybe another speed lead would be cool. So like that could be Vanessa and more, whatever. Okay, we're done talking about speed leads. You have Adriana, you have Yanhong, you have Federica, and you have Sonia. So you could just like beam somebody. So like you can rune Yanhong to be the fastest monster with her high base speed. You take turn 1, you use skill 3 to boost up like Federica or Sonia, and you just snipe somebody. Maybe Adriana doesn't really, well, Adriana's worth it if like they ban Yanhong. You know what I mean? But they'll probably ban Adriana. Adriana's insane for this because she buffs attack, immunity, and speed. So she's a huge help for making sure that Federica and Sonia can kill people. Bastet's also good, and I think you have one more. I think you got this guy. Grants invincibility, immunity, and increases their attack power, plus gives bar. This guy actually might even be better for you. But guys, I'm so sorry guys, I just realized I'm actually like over time, so I might need to call it here. I hope this helps. Please tell me how this goes in RTA, and let me know if you guys want to see more account reviews. I know it's been a while in between each one. But I hope you guys have a good time. I hope you guys have a nice day, rather. Thanks for hanging out, and I will talk to y'all later, okay? Bye, everybody. See you next time.